Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Foxy New.
Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just dig right into it. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. quits against Danny the Miracle Man Jacobs. Let's break it down. In the beginning of the fight, it was very interesting. Chavez came out very aggressive, letting his hands go, looking like a reformed and changed fighter, looking engaged, looking ready to compete at a high level against Danny Jacobs, and he won the first round. After that, the second round went down a little bit, but he looked like he was still very competitive. After the second round, things picked up for Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs looked like he was taking control of the fight, was taking control of the pace. And then later on around the fifth round, it looks like Chavez was ready to give up. He was packing it in. He landed one good right hand, but the excuses started to mount. You see he got cut over I believe his left eye. And at the end of the day, Chavez was getting outboxed by the time he actually quit. And when he went to his corner and quit, he basically told, Freddie Roach that, there was an issue with his hand. And then Freddie Roach told the ref, well, he couldn't breathe. There's an issue with his nose. So there's two different reports. A report coming out about his hand, then there was a report coming out about his nose and not being able to breathe. It looks like there was multiple excuses from Chavez to just get up, quit, and walk out of the ring. At the end of the day, this is nothing unusual from Chavez Jr. We've seen this behavior from him before. Because at the end of the day, when you see Chavez Jr., you see an undisciplined, an unfocused fighter. You see a guy who came in and missed weight dramatically. He was fined over $1 million for missing weight against Danny Jacobs. At the end of the day, he was out of shape. He missed weight. And you know what? I think he gassed. I think he threw everything he had early in the fight. He needed a tune-up fight. He stepped into this fight. He thought it would be easy. He didn't think Danny Jacobs was no good. And he came in and embarrassed himself and ruined his brand. You have to understand that it makes no sense for anyone to believe in him at this point because he's a quitter, he's a fraud, and he pretty much packed it in this fight. He didn't prepare the right way, he didn't train the right way, and he quit in front of his dad, a Hall of Famer, in front of a huge fan base that, that pretty much shows you that this guy's a disgrace. I mean, he quit, he missed weight, he refused to take a drug test. This guy was a cruiserweight against Danny Jacobs. Let that sink in. Danny Jacobs is fighting a guy who outweighed him by an enormous amount, and yet he still took the fight, yet he still came in and fought this guy. And since Chavez was unable to slow him down or hurt him with anything early, he pretty much packed it in, quit, and walked away because he didn't want to lose like a man in a decision. He wanted to pack it in and quit, and there's multiple excuses coming from his camp. The look on his dad's face says it all because, Chavez Jr. is just simply not the type of fighter that represents that brand very well. You have to understand this guy is no warrior, because the true warrior would have fought and until he was stopped. He would have came in and prepared the right way. He would have came in on weight. He would have taken all drug tests, but this guy is just not that type of fighter. He embarrassed himself. He started losing round, and all credit to Danny Jacobs for coming in, being consistent, working your jab, turning this guy, and beating the bigger man. But once again, Unbiased, as always, it's the IBFP.